it to order at 6:04 p.m.
Okay.
And we're going to previous minutes. We did not send them to Victoria, right? That would have been back because you got the
I
last
sent
meeting.
them.
You got the
Oh,
last.
This would have been
probably
from,
didn't.
Did I? Maybe I
didn't get
just
those.
From
I just sent them
February.
my
Oh,
report.
that's why. Okay, because we
Because
didn't
we
have a
didn't
meeting
have
in
a
March.
meeting in March,
Okay,
yeah.
so that's why you didn't get them.
Yeah. I have the February
So-
ones
Yeah.
here. So
Okay.
She can look those up.
Typically, as we go through each part of the agenda, we'll explain it a little bit. I feel like you don't really need an explanation. It's pretty self-explanatory, but just to be nice, we will.
It's pretty open.
So, like, the first thing we do is always go over the previous meeting's minutes. Typically, it's been Linda that's been the clerk. I think we get her for one more meeting. And then after that, it would be whoever the clerk is would take the minutes and then email them out to us kind of as a draft. And we just go over them, make sure there's no errors or mistakes, or if anything was missing that we feel should be added, then we will email her back, she'll redo it. And at the next meeting when we're all together, the trustees will take a vote. You don't vote on anything, we just do all the voting. So we'll take a vote to accept the minutes as submitted or amended if a mistake has been made. And then she uploads them to My Town Government. If you haven't been on there, Bob can show you that website. That's where our agenda will be posted and our meetings will be posted.
and I also post, along with the minutes, Bob's director's report, because sometimes I just refer to it. There's some things that he doesn't mention that were in the director's report, so I do mention that in the minutes to
Yeah.
check that as well.
So yeah,
All the meetings get posted there, so that's where the public would go to
yeah.
see.
So yeah, they
see
can go
when-
there
if
and
there-
they can
if there's
read
a
our
meeting
minutes
for your
because
department.
everything is open meeting law.
Yeah.
So everybody received the minutes.
Yes, thank you, Beth.
You're
Taking
welcome.
them.
Of course.
Thank you.
Mhm.
Any questions, concerns?
I don't have any.
I think I did a fabulous job.
Yeah.
Do you have questions, Bob?
Okay,
All right, then I will move to accept the minutes as submitted.
I second it.
Oh, we don't have to do a roll call vote because we're not on Zoom. I'm like,
Oh.
this is.
Oh, so
I have
we
to
can
go
just
back to old
say,
hat.
oh,
So
right.
yeah,
Okay.
All right.
yays. I guess.
All those in favor?
Yay!
Yay.
Hi.
It's gonna be a learning curve to get back into the swing of things
Right?
in person.
I'm practicing taking my notes.
Yeah,
'cause
we had to,
Linda's
like-
gonna be.
Because it was via Zoom, people could dial in and listen on the
Yeah.
phone, so we had to
Oh.
like say what we were doing because people couldn't always see. So we couldn't just go I because then they don't know who the ayes or
Right.
nays are because they can't see us. So we had to do it by
Announce
name.
the vote.
Yes.
Which
And
is
now,
good. Good habit to get into.
we move on next to the director's report.
Okay, I assume you all had a chance to read it.
Yeah.
We did.
It's a combination, since we didn't meet in March. I just combined a few things from March and April. And we have a new director. Probably know that.
Yay.
We had an idea.
We're aware.
We'll start with that. That's mainly been our topic over the last few months in
Right.
the search. So congratulations
Yes.
to the trustees.
And congratulations.
Congratulations.
Congratulations to the new director.
I think they found a good person.
Mm-hmm.
I think
A
so.
great person. Okay.
I think you still get the credit for that. You technically found her. We just promoted her.
Yes.
That's right. Okay, so I have been, working with Victoria a little bit, even though she's still transitioning, will be transitioning to becoming director. I think start date is planned for the 15th,
Yes.
provided we get everything.
April 15th.
Sometimes start
Yes.
dates,
Okay.
can
Sure.
be amended, have to be amended. Unfortunately, I missed the department head meeting this morning, but they did have one. And Victoria is aware that they're important to attend, and they happen the second Tuesday, the same day normally as our trustee meeting is in the evening. So we had a successful egg hunt children showed up in droves. I don't know. Sarah gave me a reason why we had so many people, but I've forgotten what it is. But I think a couple of the parents, grandparents, just took the whole group that they're usually, with, and just brought them to
all.
the library. So, and she had some volunteers. So they did it all outside.
Nice.
So she had some volunteers who put all the eggs out there.
When was your egg hunt?
April 3rd. So it was a
Nice.
week before.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Very good. Boy, the kids in town made out this year.
Yeah. Yeah. I was shocked when I got here. They were already out there.
I bet.
The action was going on. So and it was a beautiful day.
Yeah.
So that helps.
Absolutely.
They're offering the babysitting course again. It seems like it's coming right on the heels of the last one, but we had a lot of people asking about it.
Oh, great.
But now, as
Yeah.
far as now, I think only one person has signed up. So
Yeah.
they may or may not have it. They need to have a.
Yeah, I think if we can post on the library and town's Facebook pages and Instagrams that with specific wording saying summer's coming because the kids are going to be bored and
Right.
the older kids are going to be babysitting. If it's summertime, parents might need more help.
Yeah, I think Sarah, the teen advisory board, was helping with spread the word.
Yeah.
So I think she's reiterated that we need to get some signups now, or we're going to have to cancel it and
Yeah.
reschedule. So a lot of the time, people heard that you just had a successful program when we had the babysitting recently, and then they indicate all this interest, but
Yeah.
it may or may not be
Right.
reality that they can do it right away. So, okay. Anything else? You have any questions about anything? I did get a proclamation from the town
That's
that you're
right.
aware of.
April
So I went to
29th
the
is
select
gonna
board
be Bob
meeting
Hodge
last
Day.
week.
Oh, yes.
Which day?
April
Monday.
29th.
April 29th.
That's my day.
29.
Right.
Bob Hodge Day.
Bob Hodge Day. But the select board meeting was last Monday, and they actually met in person for the first time in a long time. I hadn't been to one of their meetings for a while, but anyway, so Scott Hawkins, the chairman, read my proclamation. It was a lot of fun.
Nice.
Very cool.
Very cool.
Okay, and you can,
I will.
and I have it here if you want to see it.
Perfect.
I'm sure you do.
Just as a little side promotional note, I found Bob Hodge's book on Amazon.
Oh, yes. Okay.
And
All
I'm
right.
thinking about buying it so I can get it signed
Oh, well,
by
we
the
have,
author.
Well, I'd be happy to. I do have copies, But we have copies here in the library too.
Yeah, but
We
I'm
have
not going to steal a library book.
Oh, well, yeah. I mean, I meant if you didn't want to have to buy it, you could just read it.
I like to
have-
support local people.
Yeah, if you want to buy it, I have copies. I'd be happy to sell you one.
There you go. Buy it direct from the
I know,
source.
direct from the
You
source,
know,
right?
I might even have a special deal for you.
There you go. I have a copy of the proclamation in my email because I had to approve it.
Oh, nice.
So
okay.
I'll forward it to you if you want
It's
to
quite
attach it
short,
to my
so-
town government.
Okay.
There's a lot of whereases in there.
Whereas Bob Hodge, whereas Bob Hodge.
Oh, that's so funny.
So that
All
happened.
that old timey language, right?
And we had
Great.
the Friends of the Library had a retirement gathering for me. It was
Yes.
across the
We
street.
were there.
And it had a lot of patrons came, and
That was
so
nice.
it was a
It's
chance
really
to,
nice.
It was very nice.
yeah,
It was really
Yeah.
nice.
Very fitting.
so that was good. I think that's all I got. We did learn recently that we have voice over internet phones now. The whole town went to those.
Oh, nice.
But what happened was we have our internet through the CWMR's network. They give us our connection free. We used to have to pay for a seat. We got a couple free, and then we'd have to pay for additional. But it's all free now. So, but they wouldn't allow the phones to be run through their service. So we have to pay $65 a month to Spectrum to have their internet so we can have phone service, which is it's problematic for us. The voice over the internet has a few problems. I don't want to get into all the details.
Yeah.
But
Well,
the
when-
biggest problem is $65 a month, which is when, our phones cost $19 a month.
Right.
So we've been paying almost $800 a year to have phones that really aren't the best. If Victoria's sitting there, she answers the phone. If she's the only one in the area, the other phone could ring at the same time. So it's,
Yeah.
yeah. And then we got a handheld so we could walk out in the stacks and tell someone if the book is, just double check to make sure it's available. But that handheld phone is not working properly now. So anyway, it's been problematic and it costs us a lot of money. So we're going to look into that. Victoria, I'm kind of leaving it in Victoria's hands, but she's aware.
First task.
The network weren't allowing us over the internet to do our phones, but I've heard recently that they have changed their policy. So, and I think that's all I got.
Okay.
Good. Any questions, comments on the director's report? I will move to accept the report as submitted.
I'll second.
All in favor?
I
Unanimously accepted as submitted. And next up is the financial report.
All right. So, as I've done when we meet in person, I usually print it out, and then I do a little origami.
Arts and crafts.
Just in case, like, if you saw something in the online spreadsheet and you had a question, you could just
Point it out.
kind of point to it. I guess we could just do that on a laptop or something as well. But anyway, so I need to go over this more in detail with Victoria.
Sure.
We've talked a little bit about just the stuff like just paying bills. Everything has to be done on the warrant. It all has to be signed by the trustees, and everything is paper. So, when you fill out the warrant, then at the end of each month, before I meet with the trustees, I go through and I enter them. So I don't know, did you have a chance to look at this at all?
Briefly.
Okay. So each there's a tab for each month, and then when you put the information in, from the paper copy into the warrant, it populates usually pretty well, correctly, the different categories that are in here. So, but we can talk about ways to make the spreadsheet better. It's always morphing all these categories.
Yeah.
The important thing is just that you're able to follow where you are with wages. So we should be at 75%. This is the 9th month. And so we're at 67 with wages, 0.67. So we have a little leeway there, which is good.
Yeah.
We've had 2 library pages only this year so far. We actually have some funds available for 2 more if we, end up hiring 2 more. We've talked about that a little bit too. So we'll go over this more in depth. And this bottom half is for additional income, which is funds we receive from state aid. We should be receiving the second half of our funding from the state soon. We got it last year in April in the beginning. So it should be coming sometime soon. It did say in April. They did mention April as when to expect it. And we have money from revolving is for fines. We're not really charging fines for anything anymore. We're pretty much gone fine-free. The whole network, 90% of the libraries are going fine-free. But if someone loses a book and they have to pay for it, then we need to account for that money. So it goes into this account, and we can spend $1,000 per year out of this account. So there's another ledger that has the total amount that we have in that account now. So I'm losing my voice today. Okay, so just briefly, and then there are the articles. We spent up all of the general repair money that we had for the last year. I think at our last meeting we talked about how the new town administrator has determined that it's any money for general repairs. We asked for $5,000 to kind of replenish this, and this is just for day-to-day, like library maintenance. And so she said that the highway department she was going to add a little money to their budget to make sure that any repairs that happen at the library will come from the highway department budget. So we have nothing in there now, which is, the town, either way, the town is paying for the repairs.
Right,
It's just a matter of whose department covers it. And since they're the facilities, de facto facilities, then they'll be doing that. So we have this money to apply for a state grant. And, when we met with the MBLC, then we learned that they changed all of the requirements for the grant. So this money may not be adequate. That's something that in the future meetings you guys can work out. Now that you have a new director in place, can kind of start going back to some of these other things that we've been working on. So that's just a rough preview so everything really boils down to total expenses, which is going to cover all of our materials, which is important. We have to spend 20% of our entire appropriation on materials, so close to it. And supplies, paper towels, paper, copy paper, anything like that it would be in supplies. And there's a little bit of a breakdown here. So, but it could be improved. It's improved since I've been here, and it keeps morphing into different stuff. That's how it goes over the years. And then I got from the town accountant an entire detailed ledger of everything we spent so far this year. And so Victoria and I, before I leave, will go through it. We do have money that we need to spend on materials over the last couple of months. So we'll talk about that too. I think that's all I have unless you have questions about.
Questions, comments?
I think the only concern I have about moving the maintenance and repair money from the library to the highway department, we just want to make sure that we'll have some say or control over, what we need. I'm worried about the bees, for example, and I think it sounds like that's going to take some work to get that fixed, because it's not just spraying it. Right, they're living in the walls. So
you were here for the bees, right?
Yeah. So it's just a comment more than anything else that
I
want to make sure that we have
a
some
concern
control.
too. But we met with the financial committee back in February or January, even, I don't remember. Lynette and I did, and we talked about this, and we talked about why that was in the budget.
Mm-hmm.
The FY24 budget is another thing that we will talk about. That's going to be approved at the next town meeting.
Mm-hmm.
So they were aware. These are your choices.
Mm-hmm.
Either give us some monies. We're going to need a new air conditioner downstairs. We're pretty much sure of that. We replaced these two over the last few years.
Yeah.
That one went in, and then a year later we got the.
Does that come from repairs and maintenance?
It did.
It did.
So now it should come out of their budget.
Okay.
Because if we spend money on things like air conditioners, then that takes away from the money we can spend on materials. And most of our expense money, 80-90% of it has to be spent on materials for us to meet that requirement.
Right, for the certification.
Certification.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's a step process that, I'll go over with Victoria. There are workshops that the state offers on it.
Yeah.
They're very open to calling them about anything. So, it's what I can, convey to you, and then, they film all of their workshops too, so you can go online and watch it. I mean, there's a lot they give you a lot of help. They want libraries to succeed and meet the goals that they have to be certified, because being certified is kind of everything.
Yeah.
So it's very important.
Okay. Thank you.
You good?
I'm good.
I will move to accept the financial report as submitted.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Accepted as submitted unanimously.
Yeah, it's so weird.
Isn't it? I'm not sure that we really had a business. Let me look back.
Is my replacement part of that? Is that in that category? Just
I would
the
put
status
that
of
in trustee
New.
concerns.
Okay. All right.
Was my guess.
All right.
Yeah, I don't think we didn't have anything in February.
No.
No. We had tabled the discussion about meeting with the MBLC, but we've kind of all chatted about that, and I think we've all made up.
It's not gonna work.
We're all on the same page with that. Does
Victoria know what that is?
so did you, so we met with the MBLC about construction, and they had just changed the way grants and all that stuff work. I'm sure you've heard it, because he's probably told you and everyone
Well,
else.
we were waiting
Right.
for the opportunity to meet with them, and we were ready to talk about the money that we had asked the town for
Yeah.
in order to, because the state basically had no money in the program.
Yeah.
And so the minute we started to talk about it, the MBLC just said, "We just issued new regulations yesterday."
Yeah.
It was
And
like the
they-
day before, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was
And they weren't
the day
even,
before they
like,
met with us.
finalized
And
or
so
whatever.
Yeah.
then they had one person go through all the new regulations, and we realized that there's minimal chance that we could even qualify.
Right.
Yeah.
We're
So they
kind of
basically-
in between everything. We're too
Yeah.
small
Right.
for one, and we're too large and for another.
It seems like they really want to build buildings. They want
Yeah.
to build these big buildings where
A
the
huge
library
building.
is, a community center as well. That's
Yeah,
unique for
they
us.
do
that we
favor
have
that.
19 Carter, so
Yeah.
we don't really need our library to be a community center as well. But then they were saying like the regulations, they're more strict on making sure the library is big enough based on the population, and basically without saying it directly told us that the renovation addition that the town is most comfortable with as an option, they won't have anything to do with that.
It's not gonna work.
They won't fund something like that. They are more interested in the bigger things, which is silly to me. I would think they'd
I
want to
know.
fund the less expensive things.
Exactly.
Well, if we were in a town of 1,000 people,
Yeah,
they would do it.
yeah,
Because
Right.
they had room for that in a program. It's just
Yeah.
like we're a little too big for them to consider
and
that.
then in order to get the construction grant funding for a new building, the town would have to purchase the land first.
So we already had to.
And so it's like the town has to take a gamble and buy this land, and then we still have to wait and see if we're going to get approved. So
Yeah.
seems like that's not the best avenue.
A lot of towns have opted to kind of fund their own.
Yeah, so that's something that
And, two things that need to be talked about with the town are whether they're ever going to get water, like,
Oh, like water and sewer.
yeah,
Yeah.
in the town,
Right.
not all over town. But,
But like within the
and if
center.
that's, because that would improve the options, I think,
Sure.
a lot. But
Yep.
if they're, in lieu of that, I don't know what.
I think
Well, but-
probably in the center of town that
They would
that
have to
would be a
consider
very
having
good-
like a big capital campaign, maybe starting a fundraising. I've talked about a library foundation. We've formed
Yeah,
one
we've
before.
discussed. Yeah.
yeah.
Yep.
Because we're a small town, it's a little difficult to get all the people. And then we have, 19 Carter has, they're a nonprofit and they have raised tons of money, I assume. know for sure, but they have raised the money. And that kind of takes some of the momentum for us because we'd be reaching out to the same people.
Right.
That's my thought. I could be incorrect, but that's what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
Well, I don't think, I mean, I guess
I don't think
we've
most.
never done that, so we don't know what the
I think most
capacity is.
patrons they believe that the library is totally funded by the town and that everything. They don't necessarily realize that they can donate to the library. That in fact, it's got to be a cooperative effort. It's not the town is not going to carry all the expense if we don't have some level of funding outside of the town, and having that. I don't know what it has to be. For a lot of towns, it's not that much, but at least they're able to say, "Oh, we got a grant from the state. Didn't get a grant from the state. We raised $50,000. The whole project probably cost $6 million, but the fact that they raised 50 was a big, was something.
Right.
Yep. Yep.
So it sounds like the next steps would be to really look into what fundraising would entail.
Yeah.
Creating a foundation, maybe seeing if there were some money available to get a fundraising expert to provide us with guidance on how you do that.
Yeah.
And maybe get some guidance from other libraries that have been successful at doing it that way. So that's
Say
really
Boylston?
sort of the next step.
They do have
Boylston
a
has
foundation.
one. Yeah.
And their foundation has funded a large part of their.
Yeah.
But again, the town did
This is Boylston, you're talking
Yeah.
about? Yeah.
their renovation, which it took them a long time to get that done. They did it without state money for the same reasons that we
Yeah.
that Berlin will probably proceed in the same way, because they went through a whole. They were going to build an entire new library, and then that didn't happen, and then they
So-
went through everything that. Everything we're going. It's almost a mirror
Yeah.
of everything we've gone through, and they're a
So
little.
they'd be a good town to
Yes,
talk to
and we.
you know.
we cooperate with them on a lot of things. So we share a school system
Right.
as well. So it makes sense that we would
Yeah.
look to them. But it's kind of a hard sell,
Yeah.
and it's not just our community, but it's a lot of other communities too.
Right.
So
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think I'm all set.
I feel like we made some progress in 10 years. We did get a septic system.
Right. That's definitely
that
progress.
was
Yeah.
something that we
For
talked
sure.
about from
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
beginning.
But we need accessibility for people in
Yes.
wheelchairs.
Extremely
and
That's
important.
number one.
Families
And that's
with strollers too.
Right.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, it's just,
that's
Yeah.
the thing that's not really acceptable.
And
You
it-
have
it's
to
not even
be-
wheelchairs now.
and
either.
I just wonder if there's money out there for renovations that would provide that kind of access
Yeah.
Right.
to a building like this. So anyway, I mean,
Yeah.
we don't know enough to
There
discuss
are
right now, but
there
I
are
think
grants
there's
for bringing your making your building more accessible.
Right.
There are.
right.
We looked into some, but it's just a matter of how does that coordinate with whatever other
Right.
with the state grant for libraries. And the town did do an assessment of all the town buildings and their accessibility a few years ago when Margaret started. Our former town administrator
Yeah.
was here. So, and the library, well, we didn't do too well. on
No.
accessibility. In fact, they had the first
That's no
two
surprise.
people came to do it,
Right, right.
and one of them was in a wheelchair
Oh, jeez.
and came in and
Well,
yeah.
that
Had
makes
a lot of
sense.
trouble, I'm sure, getting around.
Yeah,
Yeah.
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 They were. I knew one of the guys. Like we had a mutual friend and everything. So, it was-
Yeah. So
but there's a big report. They have the report online. You can look at it.
I actually spoke with a patron who's older, and he said, that the ramp was great if you're in a wheelchair. She's like, but it's a lot for her to walk up the ramp. She can't do the stairs. So for her, having a lift would make all the difference in the world. And
Sure.
she's not even in a wheelchair. She's just
Yeah.
And neither
Yeah.
of the bathrooms are handicapped
Right.
accessible.
Yeah.
You can't get a wheelchair in either of those bathrooms.
No.
right.
Yeah.
So it's just
You
They
can
did,
barely get a person in this one.
Right.
I know.
in the mid 2000s, this library used to be very congested with stacks and everything. So they did make it more accessible for someone in a wheelchair could.
Get around.
Oh,
Get
get
around.
around. So that's a plus.
So they, and the ramp obviously that didn't happen until 2008.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I remember it being.
it took a long
built.
time to get the ramp up.
Right.
But the door is problematic. We have a bell.
Mm-hmm.
We have a doorbell, but it keeps breaking on me. So,
No,
we
you
had
need a door that has.
we had a regular
automatic-
patron, Sylvia.
Yeah. No, there's just
Sylvia
it's,
Wheeler.
there's a lot.
It's pretty clear that
There's
a lot needs to be done.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, accessibility is
yeah.
that's the thing to stress because people get that.
yeah,
Yeah.
I think so. Yeah.
Definitely.
Just a quick question on that idea. I know that there are certain things that I don't know what you would call them, like grants or whatever, like through the town, this town. You have money from different things. I'm not exactly sure what the rules and regulations are. Have you looked into any of those?
Yeah.
Have
You mean just
checked
in
into
terms of
it?
accessibility?
Yeah, I mean, doing whatever, anything that we need to do here for, even for partial jobs or a full job or any of that.
Yeah.
Just directly through the town.
Yeah,
funds?
there's some town funds, but I don't know what the regulations and rules and stuff are, so I can't speak to if it would work or not. So I didn't know if I know
They did
that
get a lot of stimulus funds from the government, you know,
Yep.
during COVID, and that was pretty widely used for a lot of things.
sure.
So I don't know if we were really entitled to any of that monies, but there are grants from the state for different accessibility issues.
Oh, okay.
But
There's
the
a lot,
state
a
more
lot to
than the
look at.
town.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
yeah,
Yeah,
and
there's a lot to look
sometimes the select board secretary will even forward if she thinks it's something that we
Okay.
might want to apply for.
Okay.
So that has happened, but yeah.
Okay. Well, like I said, I wasn't sure what the rules and regulations were, so I wasn't sure if there was anything that would fit.
Yeah, not
you know.
that I'm aware of outside of what I
Okay.
mentioned.
All right, just thought I would mention it because I know that there is stuff, but again, I don't know what the rules and regulations
Yeah.
are for them. So,
Yeah.
okay. Thank you.
All right. I don't think we had anything listed on the agenda for new business.
No.
Alright. So we will move on to trustees' concerns, and our current, really only concern is her replacement for Linda because she's leaving us. Is it?
Yeah.
Is
There
it
was
the
a
end of
person
May?
who
Usually
indicated
it's
interest.
Well, the election
Is
is in May,
Mm-hmm.
so I would assume the new person would start in June.
Yeah. So when I
Um,
started, I came on, and I was here because I was replacing someone.
Mm-hmm.
So
Me too.
we came to this. Like her last meeting was my first meeting.
So having somebody in May, or I mean, I'd be happy
If they
to come in
get-
June if I'm here. I mean,
Yeah.
I might not be here,
Right.
but if I'm here, well, yeah, I would be here. It's the beginning of June.
Yeah.
I would most likely be here. So I mean,
Okay.
yeah, I
So we'll see.
that's
That'd be
fine.
yeah.
I just
if you can.
I'm just concerned. Have you heard anything, Bob?
Well, at my retirement thing,
Yeah, we all talked to.
we talked to a former staffer here, Susan School,
right.
Yeah, she's very nice.
and
That's
she
right.
was asking, what do I need to do to run for a trustee? So I think we filled her in. And,
Yeah, we did.
Uh-huh.
yeah.
Yeah.
So hopefully,
Yeah.
she will be at least one person interested, and she has a library. She has a master's.
Right,
and
she would be
Mm,
really
She
she'd
works
be
at
great.
qualified.
Holy Cross
Yeah.
Music Library now,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
but she lives in town.
So I wonder, do you have a way of reaching her?
Yeah.
Are you connected?
Yeah,
with
her
her
mom is a member of the Library Friends.
Oh, okay.
Oh, nice.
Kate Skoog, and she's in pretty often. So.
Yeah, I wonder if just a little encouragement to,
Yeah.
Or just
you know,
check in to see if
Yeah.
she's
Are you going to
Interested, yeah.
We need you.
Yeah.
Your town needs you.
She was very nice. I
She
met
did
with her.
sound.
She was very nice.
She did sound genuinely interested.
Yeah, it's
yeah,
only.
yeah. If you wouldn't mind it, just
Yeah.
checking in with her and just encouraging her,
Yeah.
see where
We
she
have
is
a
with
sign
it.
here that people browse through a little bit.
Oh,
Say,
yeah,
oh,
that's
are
it.
you interested?
So
Are you
if
allowed to
she
trust
says for whatever reason no, I can't do it or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are there any other? Have any people?
Well,
come
people can
forward?
be appointed. That happens. We've operated with less than 3 in the past.
Is there any other interest that you've heard of or no?
No.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, I've asked.
I mean,
some people to-
when we
Mm.
approached you, Linda,
Mm-hmm.
it was, you know, I think I saw you and your husband walking, and I go,
Yeah. Yeah.
well, Linda, I mean, because you had volunteered and
Yes.
worked with Sarah, you
Right.
had come in and read
Right.
to the
And
children.
I was working with the friends
And I was
too.
like, oh,
Yeah.
she's looking for volunteer. So I asked Sarah.
Yeah.
I said, do you think Linda would be? She says,
Yeah.
yeah, she
Yeah.
might be.
Yeah.
So here you are.
Here I am. Yeah. So yeah, that would be great if you could just follow up
Yeah.
with her. I won't put her name in the minutes. I'll just say that
Yeah.
there was someone
Yes.
that had come
An
forward.
interested party.
Yeah.
An interested party, and that you'll be
Okay.
following up. That would be
Yeah.
great. Would you mind letting us know? Just email
Yeah.
us or text us and
Yeah.
just let us know.
Yeah.
Just
She was really nice. She'd be good to
feeling
have.
worried that I'm leaving you guys in the lurch.
Well, they can
We'll,
still
we'll
operate,
manage,
you know.
but you know.
And,
It's not too bad because we'll not have meetings. It's like I think July and August, right? Do we not meet in July
usually
and
take
August?
a month or two off. And
Yes,
Yeah.
usually the summer off. So
So it's not.
hopefully there'd be
Right.
someone else if this person
Yeah.
can't do it. And
Um,
so.
And then if no one is involved in an election, no one steps forward. Is someone can be appointed at a later date.
yeah,
So there's a process for that too.
which is what I think we did.
I think,
that's the first when you first came in. That's
Yeah.
what we did because it was
Right.
like in the middle
Yeah.
of a term.
Yes.
Yeah. So if a
Yeah.
trustee
Okay.
steps down, yeah.
Yep.
All right.
Yeah, because your
Okay.
former trustee moved out of state, so
Yes, that's right.
not just out of town, but out of state.
Yeah.
So, any other concerns?
No.
No.
So our next meeting is supposed to be May 9th, but my youngest is supposed to go to nature's classroom.
Oh.
And
Are you
I
going?
still do that.
I did
They just started up
ask
again.
to be a
Good.
overnight chaperone because she will not go if I do not go.
Mm-hmm. That'll be fun
Lucky
though.
you.
Oh, I still every night have she listens to
it's
like
tough.
this meditative thing that so I have to lay with her till she falls asleep.
Wow, that's really good though.
Okay,
the
so May
meditative.
9th was scheduled.
So May 9th is the scheduled. So can we move it? What works for you guys?
Let me
Just
see, hold on.
making it
a
like
week later.
a week later and keeping it on a Tuesday work.
That would work better for me, I think. How
Okay,
about
that's
you,
the
Beth?
16th.
Let me get to May. Yeah, we could do the 16th. I'm fine. I
Alright.
got nothing.
Okay.
All right.
I know in May I've got some stuff coming up, but I don't think there's anything on the 16th.
Alright, so
If I
let's-
find there is, I'll reach out.
All right. Well, then let's reschedule it for May 16th at 6
Okay.
p.m. here at the library.
Okay.
Okay.
Does anybody have anything else?
Nope.
I do not.
And I will move to adjourn at 6:42 p.m.
I will second.
All right. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Meeting adjourned at 6:42 p.m.